Hi everyone, this is just a wee introductory video just to tell you a little bit about me. So first of all, my name's Claire and I'm from Edinburgh in Scotland, and I am a born psychic medium. So what that means is when I was a little girl I could always sense energy around me. I would have lots of dreams where I would then tell like my mum and dad, and then like later on, things would happen. Or like one vivid memory I've got is when I was a little girl. I begged my mum not to get on the plane because she was going on a girls' holiday. And thank God, like her plane was absolutely fine. But I think a plane going out the same day to Spain did actually crash. And I can't remember if it was fatalities, but I mean it's bad enough that it crashed. So that was a bit freaky as a kid. Just lots of things, like I could sit here for ages. So many memories of, like, there's another one when I remember I was coming back from a family holiday where it was like, we used to drive up north, and I remember saying to my dad, like, you need to slow down, like you need to, I don't know why, you just need to slow down, like I'm getting a feeling you need to slow down. And it was like, because anyway, like, he did actually listen to me, like, rather than being like, what are you talking about. So, and yeah, sure enough, like when we got about 5-10 minutes round the corner, there was like, I think there'd been an accident or something, or whatever it was. There was like police there, kind of like policing how fast you were going. So that was quite handy. But yeah, just very much kind of like having a feeling that something was wrong, and then it later kind of coming true that what I felt was right. So obviously that's kind of been quite difficult as well. Like, it does mean that as I got into my sort of early teens and like grandparents died and stuff, it does mean that I did quite a lot of strange things. Like, I maybe hadn't seen them for a few weeks, and then I would go and visit, and then it'd be like the next day that like one of them passed away. Like that happened. And then another time one of my grandparents died, I remember I was in the shower when a family member came round to say, and I just knew, like I just felt it. So yeah, like that does happen quite a lot with me. I can just sort of sense things before they happen. I don't always know exactly what it is I'm feeling, but if I get a bad feeling, I trust it myself. Like, I trust my senses a lot. And people that know me very well tend to trust what I'm picking up now too, because now being the ripe old age of 33, there's been quite a few things that I've been proven right with. And unfortunately, and probably till the day I die, I'll still experience the people that are like, yeah, whatever, or don't listen to me in the moment, and then it does turn out that actually they probably should have listened to me, either for themselves or for other people. But we're all on different paths, and we've all got different life lessons to learn. So I just try to work with that as best I can in my own little human self, and try to work a lot with forgiveness. But I'm only human, and it is difficult. And I mean, I studied counselling as well, so that helps, because it's probably calmed down the more fiery side of me. But I don't like to lose my fire completely, because it is who I am. I'm a very Aries person. I'm like right up. I'm 28 degrees Aries. So if you know anything about astrology, like when you're 0 or 29 or kind of near these degrees, then that you're quite a strong character of that particular zodiac sign. But I wasn't always like that. I was really quite shy and very timid, and tried to hide away as a child. And especially like in my early teens and stuff, like I didn't speak at school for about 2 years. To like, it was quite funny, like when I was then got into my like later teens and stuff in my 20s, and I'd be uptown on nights out, and that I'd meet guys I went to school with, and they'd be like, you never used to talk at school, like who are you, kind of thing. And I suppose it's just kind of like that's demonstrating how much people can change. And it's that, like, that person that I was being when I was younger, it wasn't really me. And it's like I do feel me now, but that took me a long time to grow into that confidence and to really own it. And then of course it was even more difficult that my path was to be somebody that talks to spirits and angels, and like heals people, and and like loves crystals and stuff like that, just mystical stuff. It's but so be it. That's the way it was meant to go. And if I'm honest, I love it. So, but yeah, that was difficult because if we're all honest, nobody wants to be so different that you're kind of cast aside and like, oh, that's a bit weird. But then I think, definitely the older I've gotten, I'm like, that's actually quite cool. Like, it's quite cool to be unique and to do your own thing. And then even as I've met loads of other different mediums, I've never met other mediums that does exactly what I do or that I do exactly what they do. I mean, we're all different and we've all got our own different way of doing things. And I think you could apply that to life in general. But yeah, so what do? I do shamanic healing. That's one thing that in the last couple of years has been something that I've really spent a lot of time learning about and being drawn to. Basically, when you study shamanism, you get dragged to it. It's like it really is a calling, and it's a very powerful calling. And actually, look, this is Palo Santo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is Palo Santo Holywood. It's one of like the most oldest trees that you can get. So it's like quite a sacred sort of energy. So I use this to sort of, create a sacred space when I'm doing a reading or like if I need to cleanse energy in my house or something. But yeah, I do shamanic healing, so that's very powerful, and a lot of that, I'm changing up my services, but that is really going to come into play just with conversation. Like I have noticed that when I have a conversation with someone, I'm not actually like sitting like and listening, but like I can feel the energy, like I can feel my hands drawing out the negative energy as I'm listening. Because although I am a counsellor, like I can't help that I also am a shaman. So I'm a modern day shaman, but I do draw out that negativity. And it's I did start to notice a bit of a pattern, like whether it was like listening to people in everyday life or in any other different context, where people would come back to me like, a few days later or the next week, and they're like, oh my god, I feel so amazing, and I'm going to go and do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm thinking, I do that. And it's not so much that I did that, it's that like I was used as a channel to complete the last part of that healing process, and it wouldn't even be like the last part. They'll probably go on to do lots of other different stuff. So it's just that it can seem like, oh, it was me that done that, and I'm like this magical person. I do like to think I'm a magical person, but it's just you don't know what that person went before. Maybe they went and got like reiki before, or maybe they had a really profound spiritual reading, and then maybe they came to me last, and then that was like the last part of the cog kind of thing. So I like to see it like that. That's like what my shaman sort of teachers explained it as recently, and that made a lot of sense to me. But really, the main thing that I'm really passionate about is really sort of progressing with my spiritual mediumship, because that got put on the back burner a bit when I went to study counselling. I adore counselling. I love being a counsellor. I love listening to people and I love helping people. Obviously, I love talking too. So, but I can balance it. When I am the counsellor, I'm the counsellor. When I'm the coach, I'm the coach. And that brings me nicely on to what I've been more drawn to be of service doing the intuitive coaching, because people tend to say that as well as being able to listen and just hold space in that really sort of sacred way, is that when I'm in the zone, my Aries comes out, my really strong Aries and my Sag moon, and it's like I'm like, right, what are your goals? What are you doing to get them done? Let's make a plan. And so and then one of the things I've been hearing a lot lately from a couple of just free clarity calls that I've done, is people are saying that it feels like they're talking to their best friend, and I cannot tell you honestly, that is, when I hear that just my work here is done. I pride myself on being a good friend, and for a long time I was the best friend anybody could ever want. I would hope that my best friends would say, but then the last sort of few years that slipped a bit, unfortunately, because I went through a few of my own difficult things, and I had to just shut myself off from pretty much everyone, bar one of my closest friends. I didn't really let anybody around my house or anything. I didn't want to be around anyone, and it was difficult. It was really difficult, but I learnt a lot, and it's my belief is, you could call it depression, but I like to call depression deep rest, and it's a time of really exploring all parts of you. And in the sort of field that I work in, or whatever you want, I don't really like to box myself in, but in a lot of the sort of spiritual texts and stuff that I read, people call it a dark night of the soul, and it is where you kind of, yeah, you're just getting to know that kind of darker side of you. And I don't mean dark as in like bad, I mean dark as in like, you know, just like the painful parts, or like the bits that are a bit sad, or bits that like have maybe been missed by people, or things that didn't happen the way that you wanted them to happen, or people that, you know, left your life early, like, you know, passing the spirit like unexpectedly, or, you know, or people that are still here that left your life that you didn't expect to, you know, drift away from. Like, I know that, like, God, there's people that are still alive that I consider very close friends, but I haven't seen them for ages, and then it's like, you know, when you suffer a bit from anxiety, you go into that kind of, oh God, it's been too late, and I don't even get in touch with them, and do you know, that kind of stuff. And it's like, I used to have a lot of empathy for people when they went through that, but then see, when I actually went through that, you know, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like that a little bit sometimes, when I was a younger teenager, but like not on this level, like that what happened to me last year. And it really is like, you know, it's just, yeah, I just don't even have words for it. It was awful. I was very agoraphobic, didn't want to leave my house, to the point where sometimes if I'm really feeling the intensity of reflective energies, I can sometimes fall back into that a little bit. But, you know, I'm not a fan of touching wood, unless it's this kind of like, you know, holy kind of the other side of my brain's wanting to make really inappropriate jokes, but alright. You know, unless it's this kind of shamanic wood, it's I believe that, like, I'm out of the woods. Like, God, I'm making so many blooming puns here. Yeah, it's the I feel pretty good now, and you know, I've still got a couple of things that are quite heavy going on that I need to sort out, but I feel strong and I feel unstoppable actually with the goals that I want to achieve. And although some things are difficult, like I may fall, but you know that quote, like, fall down 7, stand up 8, that definitely does apply to me. so if if you feel like any of that resonated with you, if you feel like you need a wee bit of support on your healing journey, what I would say is I am only working with women, because that's where I've got the most experience, in the, you know, as a coach. And it really would just be a bit like what I said, like, you know, we would talk about in the initial consultation what it is you're wanting support with, whether it's like achieving a specific business goal, whether it's just really finding that self-love for yourself, whether it's finding the balance in your life, whether it's improving a relationship, like any relationship in your life, you name it, we can try and work on it. What I will say is I'm very honest, so if you come to me and you want this goal that I feel I've got no expertise in, then I would be the first one to tell you that I probably wouldn't be able to help you, but the good news is I probably would know somebody else that would be able to help you. So, on that note, I'm sure there's other things that I do. I'm a Reiki master, so I do Reiki as well. But you know, what is more kind of calling to me to help with the most is intuitive coaching, and just empowering other people to learn the things that I've taught myself a lot about along the years, and just really growing into your confidence and your authenticity. That's what I'm passionate about. So, you know, I could use a number of the tools and experience and qualifications, but I tend to rely on the experience more than the qualification. It's, you know, I can use a number of these things to help, but we're probably going to be able to find out what's going to best serve you by a free initial consultation call. So if you get in touch with me, because we've got lots of very good deals on just now, which I won't keep on forever. I'm actually planning on the current deal I've got, where you get 12 sessions, 2 free. I'm only going to keep that running until Thursday, so you know, I would encourage you to get in touch very soon. But of course, if you do find this after the 19th of October, because it's the new moon, then you know, still get in touch with me, because I'm sure I'll have some sort of deal going on, or or you know, or it was just meant to be. Anyway, I'm losing it, so I'm gonna go because I need to go and get a wee cup of tea. But this is about 15 minutes, so I'll probably upload this to YouTube. So just know that I believe that anybody that gets drawn to my services is drawn here for a reason. So whether that's just to enjoy my free stuff that I put out, you're very welcome. Please engage. I love it when people engage. I understand if you don't, but I do love it when people engage because it helps me know that I'm helping people and that to keep doing what I'm doing. And yeah, definitely send me a wee private mail or an email to claireverything@gmail.com if you're interested in learning more about stuff that I do, and I hope to see you more. Okay, bye.